Welcome to Inside New York.
That's a great question. Thank you.
Hi, this is Shaka Khan, and you're watching Inside New York.
And this year's Tony Award. This is the biggest night on Broadway.
And I'm on Inside New York.
Welcome to Inside New York. I am so thrilled to have a veteran producer right here on Inside New York, where it all started. Veronica Keitt, who's now not just doing TV shows, which was great, the VK News Report, but she has ventured into film. She's done documentary films, activist films that have been shown in Times Square. She was one of the first to be able to document police brutality with one of the major cases. And they showed the National Action Network that decided to showcase that in Times Square.
He was, for all intents and purposes, assassinated.
We are in need of law and order, but we should not have to sacrifice the freedoms they are designed to protect.
Sean Carroll and these other officers are obviously lying.
Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, 28 times.
It's about time for us to organize and start kicking.
Nobody else has been able to hold a candle to her. But that wasn't enough. She went on to start her own film festival. It's the People's Film Festival. So we are thrilled that she took time out from her very busy schedule to come in and share with us what it's like, what it's about, since it's the 6th year, and we've got a lot to catch up. So, Veronica, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. And you know what's so funny? It's so, I forgot about that march that they did, and they showed the 41 shots. That was amazing, and that was during the Amadou Diallo era.
Yes, it was 41 shots,
Yes.
which was just a mini doc of that whole protest movement, which, you know, started the whole exposure and of police brutality and Black Lives Matter. And Veronica Keitt was the first out the box with that type of documentation. She's now showcasing independent filmmakers' work. What a champion. So Veronica, tell us what it was like starting as a producer here at M&N, why you felt compelled to do, 41 shots, what that experience was like, and bring us full circle to this People's Film Festival.
Yes. Well, I tell you, you're rightfully so. My activism is my camera. And the fact that I did that film, it's born out of here, Manhattan Neighborhood Network, public media. There's power in our voice. And one of the reasons why I like public access is because you have the power to choose to say, to speak without being censored, and say what you will without control. And so this is why I choose this venue or this medium for showcasing my work. And so I was out there during that time shooting Amadou Diallo. We were out there, the marches and the protests. Sharpton would say, get out there, 12 o'clock for lunchtime, one police plaza, and everyone was out there, and they were marching around in a circle. People were getting arrested, and I was documenting it.
And for those who don't recall what date that was, what year was that?
This was 98. Yeah.
Wow. I knew it's been a while.
It's been a long time. They just had a 17-year anniversary, I believe, for Amadou Diallo, a breakfast with mom, Kadiatou Diallo. This is the second annual. They started the dinner. They have a foundation. They give away scholarships. And but it was important then. And one of the things that M&N allowed us to do was to shoot and then come back and we would air what happened. Because one of the reasons why I do this is because I don't want to rely on mainstream media. So we choose alternative media, and we choose our media that we create because we know that we can tell that story and tell it in its entirety without being cut. So hence the doing this story, like you said, doing mini docs, because everything that we shoot is almost like mini docs, and then what we air, the way it's put together. And I remember one day we were in the studio and talking with Nat Wood, who is my right arm, leg, whatever. and so he was, yes, right.
Of course, he was my director.
I know, right?
Assumed that wonderful role after Oliver Richardson.
Yes.
Passed on.
And he was saying, listen, what are we going to do? Nah, Veronica, we got to do something else, because where do you go from here? And then Osiris, another producer, comes in. He came back from Cannes Film Festival. He put this big giant book down on the counter, and he says, I just came back from Cannes. And it was like a light bulb that went off. I was like, oh my God, we're going to do a film festival. Come up with a name. I'm like, well, the people united will never be defeated, because we're out there marching protest. I said, well, you can't say that, right. And then Daryl said, well, why don't you just say the people? So People's Film Festival is born. Here we are. It's born out of freedom of speech, power to speak. Your voice
matters.
Yes. It was born out of that, and providing venues for other filmmakers. Because it's almost like when you put your film into some of these film festivals and they reject you, it can really discourage you and make you wonder, well, why not? Why didn't you choose my film? What's going on? It's almost like going on the Apollo. You can sing, but you get booed. It's like, wait a minute. I know my work is good. So we created the film festival based on how we view media, how we consume media, how we create media. We took away all those criterias. How sometimes they says, well, the film has to be done this year, and no one else could have seen it or whatever. Well, you know what? I like Independence Day. That's my favorite movie. Imagine if that was shelved because I was not selected into a festival. Then we would never see it. And this is what happens to some of these filmmakers. Great, amazing films that just disappear. You never get a chance to see it. So we changed that. Anyone, come on in. I want to see it. I want to see your work. Because who am I to say that your work is not good enough?
Well, that brings to I'd say one of the biggest challenges. How do you see all this work? You have a committee.
Yes.
Yes. But do you make the final decision?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I wish.
So you can go
I think no. I don't. I look at them, but no, not at all. As a matter of fact, some of the things that I like, the people that are part of they don't like, so yeah, and vice versa. So it's a challenge, but I think it's good when you have several heads, several people looking at it to give and you have to look at everything. You got to be honest. You got to look at everything, because I don't think it's fair. You take your time to put in your work and then someone doesn't critique it. You hear these horror stories, oh, they don't look at your film. Well, we do. And I enjoy looking at it. Like, that's my passion, just looking at films and looking at people's work. What intrigues me the most, I believe, is what they shoot with. What did you shoot this with? I shot it with a iPhone. I shot it with a Red camera. I shot it with a 70D or what. I'm like, wow. And you created that? Because we know, coming from public media background, we shoot by any means necessary. And we mentioned Nat, and I was with Nat in Malaysia, and we didn't have a tripod where we were because we didn't take it out the van or something. He stacked the jackets and created like this little, because we were shooting the towers, the twin towers that they have in Malaysia. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, he does amazing things. Or he'll sit here and he's like, like a human tripod. That's what we say. Because you lock your arms in and you shoot and you pill and you tan. And so, but this is what intrigues me. How did you shoot this? How did you get that shot? Oh my God, you shot the wheel. I see these things. I don't look at TV any different anymore because I'm an editor. So it's like I look at TV and I'm like, oh my God, I just saw that jump cut, you know. Or the sound, you can hear things.
Right.
But we know that this is what you might have to do to get your film done, but we're not going to disqualify you because we see these little things, because this is some good work here.
Yeah, it's the content.
You know, right. And then eventually, of course, you'll change it or whatever else like that. But guess what? We're not going to knock you and say, oh, your work is not good enough because you have sound, and then just, sound issues. No, we're going to look at everything. And I enjoy it. And this year, we got over 80 films. 20 of them are VR. The virtual reality. So you put the headsets on and you.
Oh my!
Oh, amazing! I went to the Samsung store down on 14th Street.
The new.
Yeah, and they have
store.
this. It's like you going out to the ride somewhere, Great Adventures. They have this chair. 4 people sitting there. You put the headsets on, and the chair is moving like that. And when we're looking at, you're on a rafting boat. And it's, this chair moves and jumps. I'm like, I thought I was going to throw up.
Wow.
This is the next level of storytelling. This is what we want to bring to the community, to the young people, to old people, to everyone. Because with this technology, you can now take your story level to a whole another level. Can you imagine if you can put a headset on and now you can see what's on the floor, what's up and around, or you use one of them 360 cameras and you look at everything in one shot? You remember how we used to spin around and get the shot? No. So technology has leveled the playing field and allowed everyone in, anyone in, and it's just amazing. So we got 20 VR films. It's going to blow you away. Yeah.
So as this technology continues to evolve, when you talk about virtual reality, are we talking about expensive equipment to capture
Some of the equipment is not expensive at all. Like you can get a 360 camera for $299. You can get a virtual reality headset. I've seen them as low as $5, $20. So you can get that if you have a good phone. Now, most of them it was with Android phones, 6 and up. But now you can use your iPhone and you just slip it inside and you'll attach it to whatever internet, or unless it's a digital file that you have, and you just watch it, and it's really cheap on some levels. I don't know what it is to create one, but that's what I want to do. I want to get into that's my next step. I'm going to do a virtual reality film. Or a 360 film. I want to do that because I'm so inspired by it. It's like that is the next level. As an editor, what do you do next? Just like we were doing, public media and stuff like that. Now what do we do? Film festival. Now what do we do? I want to check out this VR because technology is changing so fast. You want to stay on top of it. But I'm excited to bring it to Harlem. Yeah. It's going to be at the Julia de Burgos Performance and Arts Center, and it's free. Everyone can come on in. There's going to be several exhibitors that's going to show their work, and then inside is going to be the VR lounge where you'll see these 20 films. And then we have workshops. Our very own Deshawn is going to have a workshop.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yes. And
what type of workshop?
Well, his workshop, I believe it's about understanding using your Mac computer with your, that technology.
With cell phones and so forth.
How do you marry it? How do you pair it? And I think that's necessary because in an instance, like we're talking now, I can take a picture and shoot it off, and now it's, I done sent it and viral did.
Exactly.
That is what technology is today. That is how we are consuming media, and this is how people are, yes, and it's short too. Like people have a short time span, so they're not doing hours. They're doing 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'm done. Oh, I saw this already. Let me go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. How do we capitalize and create content for today's market?